Hi guys, I'm CinnamonToastKen, and welcome back to Danganronpa, the Trigger Happy. In the last episode, man, some stuff went down. A lot of stuff went down. I was like, man, it's been a long time since someone's died, and now we have two deaths. Taka and Hifumi are both dead, but there's a robot of justice going around smacking people on the heads with mallets. And there's got to be more than one person working on this. There's got to be multiple. Yeah, something's up. But before Hifumi died, he said that he remembered all of us and that he met us all before, and then he died. So I'm saying that there's somebody's messing with the brains in this thing. You know, we know each other and we just don't remember that we know each other or something. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, and his eyes never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed on his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yashihiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yashihiro Hagakure? The only person he could be referring to.
So in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and then killing Taka and Hifumi, and then going as far to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends.
That's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. All right. First, I better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Fumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Isamaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. Woo! Yeah. It's thought they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case were unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened in the Monokuma. We should know more about what happened in the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
Well.
There's something else bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko?
Perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your questions. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I, during the first class trial? Yeah, you did.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance
But
of
what if they
profiting
kill
from
two
it.
people, one each?
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then.
So you're saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, I can't answer that. It would disrupt the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might insist in my murder, only one blackhead can graduate, an accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words...
But then we need to figure out just who that one blacken is that did the killing, right? Just like normal?
Well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is the one true Blacken who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true Blacken? So just one person.
Well now.
Oh, God dang it. Whew. That's enough for explanation. Now it's down to the final Blacken, the battle between all of you and the Blacken. Good luck to all the contestants. So there can only be one Blacken. The accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then there can't be any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information. Yeah, you did it. She did it. Unless you did it, which I doubt it. You know, don't you think we could consider a certain someone as a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. What? I'm offended! When did you... I've been looking all over for you, Master. Not wrong voice. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl.
Huh?
Milk sack?
You gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? Am I like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Afumi's scream, she was with me. And then when the body disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Afumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not going to kill someone whenever knows what I look like. They don't call me a murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
It's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, shouldn't we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, it'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
It's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let it begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Monokuma files been added to the truth book thingy. So, this is what I think. I'm just guessing Celeste right now, just because I don't really believe all the stuff she's saying, and I think the accomplice is the guy we think it is, because he's not here to hear that he is also not going to get out. Because if he did know that, he'd probably be like, "Whoa, dude, oh my God, you totally screwed me over here." Blah blah blah. Anyway, let's investigate. Fumi's big cold body's laying on the floor. He's really big body. I mean, how on earth was a killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office, where he was discovered, to here, the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third, all without anyone noticing. How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Fumi himself. If I remember correctly, Fumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which is lying on the floor in the nurse's office. Oh, wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Fumi's body in the nurse's office versus the body right now. His glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. And now they're clean. Huh. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why? Fumi's glasses have been added to truth bullets in your handbook. Well, that's just weird. Why would anyone do that? It's weird. Taka, you'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, he died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body and the equipment. That was used to kill him? There's a tarp laid out under his body. Okay, so the tarps were in that room we were in before. I remember seeing them. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. The blue tarp has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay. And then the hammers are missing. The hammers on the other side hanging on the wall. They're more like mallets. Mallets! Could the Justice Hammers have been designed using these models? Either way, all the hammers have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris, chalky stone powder. Wait. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all. It's wet. Someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer has been added to the... Okay, that's weird. That's definitely odd. Is that how they moved him on that? Probably so. It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Wait! Wasn't this the equipment room we found Taka's body? And then look at this wheel. There's blood stain on it. Okay, so that's what was used to move Taka's body. So someone lighter weight had to use some... Okay, ooh. Maybe it was Sakura that helped murder. No. Cause she was with us the whole time. There's a blood stain on it. There's a blow on the wheel on the dolly and moved the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? Add the true section of your handbook. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. Attack, murder, disappearance all happened. How about Fumi said when he died? Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
In other words,
there's no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity in that weird costume? Maybe he thought no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's a full century, you see. I mean, he is kind of dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
what?
And is that it? Is that all that bothers you about this case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured if we couldn't find the bodies, then we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, if it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? Now, who was in the room when it was locked? Sakura and Hina were both in the room when it was locked. The other thing that bothers me is why did they bother killing two people?
What?
Because all the rule says is if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number one priority is not getting caught. But killing two people means more clues, more chances you get found out. Hold on, perhaps. Let's see, so that means... Is everything okay? No, someone's set up. Someone's getting set up!
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we were friends. What's the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this later, after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out, but if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? I already know what it is, it's fine. Alright, Sakura. There are many aspects to this incident this time, too many to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then...
Would you like my help? Yes? Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up in the dining hall. Hina, Toko, you, and myself. Okay. Yeah, we were all together. But I showed up late, right? Waited for the others, but nobody showed up. We all decided to come look for them. It was around 8 o'clock. We began our search. Kyoko disappeared, and after that we found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor. According to Celeste, she was unconscious for an hour. She was attacked an hour before we found her. Just after 7 o'clock. Okay. Pictures. Local justice. Fumi away. After meeting with Toko and Byaku, began searching for the costumed assailant. We found the injured Fumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our research. But not long after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow moving to the top of the stairs. Of course she did, because she's like, hey, go look up there so I can kill this guy. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back to the 2nd floor, we split and began searching, then right after that, she screamed, and seeing the suspect on the 3rd floor, hearing her screams, quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Intense scream for someone like you. I'm definitely suspecting her now. And then... What was that? came downstairs. It must have been Hifumi.
So,
Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's body disappeared, we split to look around, right? I was really scared. Me and Sakura stuck together.
but
We came right to the repository, you know, to look around. When we got there, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. Yeah, it was locked. We came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us there. So if that's true, then who locked it and why is it unlocked now? We're the same thing. The door's locked when we searched the bodies, and now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there. I have to leave it this area to figure that out. Yep. So only one way in and out of this room, the door that Hina said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. Was Hifumi in on it? And then he ended up getting killed anyway? Because he was the one helping? The door can only be locked from inside the repository. It makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed the door was locked after we started looking at the missing bodies. The door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. They were done, they unlocked it, left it wide open. Why is it unlocked now? He claims there's no... Okay, yeah, that's why he cleaned his glasses, because he couldn't see. Okay, so now Hifumi's in on it. There's no way beating the repository. He went in there, he moved the body in there. After he disappeared, we all went downstairs and he moved the body over. So, then of course he would want Robot Justice to attack him because he's freaking weird. Anyway, okay. That's certain someone. So who's the other person though? Maybe I should check somewhere else. There's some places I already know about. I still suspect Celeste and that maybe she was in the robot suit. The nurse's office, when Hifumi was found, the equipment room, Taka was found. Leave the repository, yes. Yes. Points of interest, the equipment room. Maybe Hifumi sacrificed himself for love. Maybe that's the thing, huh? Okay, well, there's the wheels. I'm not going to the pool. Reminds me, the dolly in the repository had blood on its tire. Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both the rooms are on the 3rd floor. Definitely possible. The dolly was moved Taka's body. What about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. No way to get up on the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. No, it's not. No, it's not. He moved himself. This tarp, I feel like I've seen it somewhere before recently too. Yeah, you have. It's in the freaking other room. All right. And murder weapon. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. Oh, Super Murder Girl, what do you think about all this? I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away.
What?
I'm super pissed and missed such an ultimate rare event. All right. Useless. What are you investigating, Celeste? I am not investigating anything precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. Main thing on mine is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes, indeed.
Correct. He was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom so Hifumi could escape. And when he got back, the body was gone. We could not have... We never checked to see if he was alive. We just assumed when we came in. We could not have gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, he just said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in, move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Let's check out that hammer. The one that used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body and left the weapon behind. Right, help me, does it? Oh, there's something in the trash can. Yeah, it's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth that has the freaking little angel girl that he's always talking about. It's got some cartoon character on it, but it's also covered in blood.
Oh,
Ah, did you find something? Yeah, there's a cleaning cloth in the trash can. A cleaning cloth? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either. Wink, wink. But I think it might be important. Glasses cleaning cloth's been added, the secret stuffy stuff. And there's a camera, so that doesn't matter. Refrigerator, what's in here? Refrigerator, I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. After everything I've been through, I'm parched. Just a quick peek. ... There's a bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusions. I guess that's probably not his blood. Does that help me though? I'm not a vampire. Yeah, well, I think it's a clue. But maybe he really did get in the head. And then he laid down, because she suggested that he laid down too, didn't she? So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't his handwriting. This is the note Hero. Wait, this is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Shiro's message has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? Ha ha ha. The plot continues to thicken. This is Hero's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Something glitched in the corner. Where do you even get it all from? What keeps glitching over there? Ah! The camera's messed up. More importantly, he still has it turned up, which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? All right, let's go through all of his stuff then. Hooray! Boxes. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something and some things made out of looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster. Is this Robo Justice? And is it Hero's room? Wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. Is that his handwriting? Because it's terrible if it is. Robo Justice blueprint has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay. It's a little bad, pretty much like the one in my room. I soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. Pretty grungy though. How does the bathroom even get this dirty? Okay, is that all there is in here? Leave the area, yes. Go to big news! Big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news!
just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too! Robo Justice? It's Hero wearing the costume!
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. To think Hero and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off the second floor as fast as I could. Alright. This should be good. There they are. Can I just go over there? ... Kyoko and...
I mean...
Phew, man, I've had the worst day. Hero? Okay. You tell me what happened.
Right.
I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and he woke up.
Don't be mean.
I still can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There's something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
It's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey.
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind? First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean,
Well, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep, don't even know what was happening, then I woke up and I was here. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me just to look at you.
Huh?
Well,
let me
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself?
got it all
I didn't
wrong.
make the stupid freaking thing.
It would seem.
There's a clasp in the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. Took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Ooh, free at last! It's kind of weird how perfectly this suit fits Hiro.
So
More
then,
to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a second.
honestly,
Don't bother trying to innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well.
is that okay?
In other words, it's obviously to everyone that you made this costume. When did you go to his room? That's true, I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be?
And it's obvious, the one who put this costume and went around attacking everyone, well, maybe not. Maybe his handwriting is actually really good. And it's not his handwriting.
Terrible!
Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the worst.
Good idea, wouldn't killing anyone else. To tie me up? Hold on, guys, I think it's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, attacking blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Heck?
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them. What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around.
Insane!
You're the only one who could wear this costume. Who else could possibly be the costume attacker?
What the heck?
How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convince me.
Okay.
Fine. You can be a jerk about it. I will. Without missing a bit, or maybe even a beat, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
See?
See, look how loose it
See how
is.
loose it is?
Yeah. She's got a band-aid on her leg. All right.
I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
So he couldn't have got down and picked anybody up and carried him away then, could he?
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again. Well, now you're all have excuses. No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Oh, okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good, the arm's too long. There's no way I can wear
Just
this.
a second.
See, I told you it was impossible! You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But
Then there's another costume. One looks the same, but it fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence? You claim there's another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? Hero's the only one with an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
Terrible.
Which we blah 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 blah. Which is how we know it was him. I mean, is that's really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone tell me? Nice. RJ. And he called it Robo Justice that he just now named, but it had RJ on the anyway. Robo Justice costume has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. There's no talking your way out of this one. You did it. Everyone knows it. I don't think he did it though.
The heck?
You don't really tell me what's going on. How am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out someone's been killed, right? Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it. I did not. Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed,
How about that?
that's it. I know who did it.
So then,
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over alter ego, right?
I'm at least 30%
Which means alter
right.
ego and our Chihiro must have done it.
correct.
I see. That's unfortunate.
Please.
Unfortunate.
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. You did it, okay? I'm
Um.
telling you got it all wrong.
Oh, so
I know
good.
that note. Last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. Meet me in the rec room at 1 a.m. Last thing I remember is going to the rec room, and then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So,
Hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. Really? Told you someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape. Someone wrote it all to trick me. And if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. After being trapped for so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? God, they preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay, then show us the note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure.
Please.
Please, you gotta believe me. I want her to fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? For serious? His account has been added. Now though, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do you need to keep investigating? We already know who did it. We don't know who did it. Shut up.
What the heck?
Why did you kill him? Tell us, hero. Oh, it's like I said.
Worst.
Let's really get the money that Monokuma offered us? Yeah, it must be it. You must be totally broken. That's why. Hey, it's a false accusation. Someone help me.
Insane.
Just be thankful we hadn't bound and gagged you. You have time to yell and carry on. You have time to search for evidence, right? Oh, you're right. I need to look for the second suit in that note. Don't fail me now. Guess you better get back on guard duty. I was going to ask Toko or Genocide Jack to switch with me, but she said if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away. Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation.
it would seem.
Looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later when we have the time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. To reject so simply.
Anyway,
Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? I kind of do now.
Shall
I kind
we
of actually
go?
do.
hey,
So Makoto, first I'd like to explain... I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses. I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey,
Wouldn't you agree? I'm not supposed to answer.
anyway,
We have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository, but I guess I should head that way for now. Blah, 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 blah. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment.
so then,
Let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka without hesitation and began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
Monica was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Yeah. It was so smooth, just so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable.
I see.
I found something. You
Hey.
did? You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did? Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyway, you said he had a watch?
So then,
Take a look. It's cracked, so he tried to defend himself. It's broken. You see the hands aren't moving. What time is it? It's like 11:30. Or well, is it? Which way is it? That could be 5 a.m. Oh, maybe it's 5 a.m. It could be 5 a.m. or freaking what? 12:30? No, 11:30. I don't know. Most likely broken when he has an encounter with the assailant. If you notice, the hands are frozen just past 6 o'clock. Okay, well, I guess it's 6 o'clock then. Does that mean the watch was broken sometime after 6.
That's right.
Last night, Taco definitely wasn't broken. Hey, you, how long you gonna keep us waiting? Yeah, oh yeah, he pointed at his wristwatch. So almost 10 o'clock, you know that bedtime for little boys and girls.
In other words,
So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m., meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Broken whistle has been added to the true section. Why don't I ever look at the bodies myself? Why she gotta do it all? And that's it, look at Taka's left hand. He's got the note. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto.
You try to prod out? Me?
Because
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. Seriously, I didn't look at all this stuff when I was in here. We're so freaking bad at not getting ourselves killed. I didn't want to. I grasped Taka's cold hand. Ice cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I finally able to free the object tightly clenched in his fist. A piece of paper. That's all in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
is that right?
Maybe we should read the paper. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then,
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he left us a few clues of his own. Scrap of paper. Maybe it doesn't have anything on it. It's been added to the truth bullet section of my handbook. All right. Do you want me to look at it? Biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move his corpse. The nurse's office when he discovered. First floor. Notice this. Can't you see how it's possible? Died from below the head. Looks like a killer using Justice Hammer 3, which is found in the nurse's office, but when we found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. So this is the same thing? Oh, we already saw all that then. All right, tell me about his body then. Did you find anything? I did, more than expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
That's right.
Fumi had it hidden on him. Hidden where?
Indeed.
He stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he hidden it on purpose, you see. In his pants? Wait, so
Why
you...
is that?
It's just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey.
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, open it up. When I think of how it's stuffed down his pants, it's like, it better be important. Hifumi, I'll never forget you for this. A note with a really crappy handwriting. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuba can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet at the equipment room at 6 a.m.
So,
It sounds very familiar. In the equipment room. That's it. It's the same thing Hiro said. And he was telling the truth.
however,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night someone slipped me a weird note under my door, and that's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. Bum bum. So the rec room. Yep. And the equipment room. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m. The note written to Hifumi asked to meet at 6 a.m.
is that right?
Hold on, just because Hifumi had a note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So,
Part of this had to be torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. Some meaning to it being ripped? Could you maybe explain it a little more? How about Taka came and he was like, hey, I got this note or something, or I don't know.
hey,
Why would he have been clutching that scrap paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then,
What if it wasn't just a scrap paper when he was holding it? No. Was it something more important? And how would something like that become a scrap of paper, a mere scrap paper? That's what you need to answer. Yep, been written in the truth section of the handbook.
hey,
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. So there's not that there's any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. I'll say that they merely weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role. I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in my mind. The handbook has been... maybe because you can't get to certain rooms at certain times? Well, that's all before 7, so I don't know. Truth section. Oh, man. Yep.
Are you excited? Are you pumped?
I'm pumped.
It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Alright.
It would seem.
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to a proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going. Okay. And the music is not happy. And we go into the red door of doom. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation. We gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there.
Monokuma appears!
Hello, hello! He's multiplied.
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy,
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Fine.
Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
The heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You gotta pay for your sins.
What the heck?
Told you already, I didn't do it for serious. This reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the notes? Well, no, but how unfortunate that it would seem we have our culprit. Huh, but we did find it, and we're not gonna tell you about it.
Hey,
This is the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get into the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's go down there first, and then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it! I can't let whoever killed Ifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for those who had lost their lives. Yeah. The one who killed Ifumi and Taka, the one who killed two of our friends. The killer is someone right here. Dum dum dum. Whatever. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was on board, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. Oh, my throat. Been reading for too long. Getting sore. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop, but the elevator door slid open, opening into a cruel fate. When I see all you gathered together like this, I realize how few of you there are left. Your life is slowly reaching its climax.
The worst.
Only because of you. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? Why? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute!
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me, of course I'm gonna start it. I will never be like, stay tuned for an action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get your assigned seats. And with that, just kidding, we're gonna keep going. We're not stopping. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, defense, deadly faith, a deadly class trial! You want to save? I sure do. Well, hang on, I want to save a different spot just in case I miss important things somehow. All right, class trial, all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
We already know who did it.
No, we don't know who did it, girl. Calm your britches.
Was that?
Was
It
that?
was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Genocide Jill, shut up.
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hero, but we do have evidence.
No, Celeste.
Blueprint for the suit.
Nope.
Parts we assume were used to build it,
They were magically left in his unlocked room.
and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
Yeah, for a
It
setup.
points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
Someone had to put him in it because I had a lock
How
on the
many
back.
times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Is he a real killer, or for anything else, we have to make that clear. All right. What's our first truth bullet? Make your argument. Yashiro's message. All right, so we gotta find someone talking trash about the message that's incorrect.
Everything we found in your room,
Yeah,
the
that's true.
blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Okay, so we missed it. It was the second thing. I mean, looking at the blueprints, the handwriting is awful messy. We're right. Hero's handwriting is super smooth.
Everything we found in your room,
Uh-huh.
the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong, girl. Get out of here.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
No, we're not.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah,
When you compare it to the blueprints.
it's pretty jacked
There's
up.
no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
Why would they do that?
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hero's innocent as well.
Oh, indeed.
Then who was in that Robo Justice suit?
He was definitely in the Robo
Is it
Justice
like Hero
suit.
said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
No, you derpy girl.
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
It was Hero. Of course, he passes off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo Justice suit?
Special individual question. It was Hero. Hero's in the goddamn the Illuminati. Is what.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have
It
been.
doesn't matter who was in the suit.
Obviously, he
They
was
took
the
a
one in
picture,
that
that's all they have of
particular
it.
Suit.
Nobody
We
ever
never
saw
found
anything
any
else about
kind
the
of
suit.
second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo Justice suit.
That's right.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It
we know
would
that
seem
already.
that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Of course I can. I'm a goddamn genius. They had to be. Well, we'll go with the dolly first.
I got it!
I got it! There's still one more thing. The other thing to use his body must have been the tarp.
I got
I got it again!
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Yep. What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, It was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room.
Uh-huh.
So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing.
Yep, he's just sitting over
I'm
there.
sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there.
And then it was
But
gone.
when the body disappeared, so did the doll.
The dolly.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository,
The dolly was in the corner.
so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There's a freaking blood stain on the ground that
There is
shows.
no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow, I never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Maybe I can change your mind. But I can just explain to them how the dolly must have been moved to the equipment room to the repository. New elements have been added to the truth bullet this time. I'd like to hear about it. I guess so. Reloading. Starting with the next bullet time, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. At the bottom of the screen underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo counts. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements, but for now, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it'll cost you one bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can destroy any more. You can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the X button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the X button now has a function along with A and Y buttons. Will I'll make a reload the first time, fever ammo will not decrease. Your action difficulty is set to general. Well, I don't have that. In which case, you can ignore this, everything I said. Well, then, good luck and have fun. Okay, so we're probably going to fail this because the moment of truth. That's why I just have to reload.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Jesus.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere.
Oh,
Do your worst, you miserable wretch.
come on.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere.
Yeah,
Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
can't hear it.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You miserable wretch.
I don't know. Forget how to do all this.
Wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere.
Oh, I guess I did it. That was terrible,
I
but
cannot agree.
This should prove it.
all right. Well, I guess I did it. Jesus, that was terrible.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
Yeah, well, I could have just said that to begin with instead of that.
It was a pool of blood
Crazy
in the
crap.
equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jesus, Les really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
Yeah, that doesn't really have anything to do with it
I'd be
anymore.
happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become
can't bend it at the
immediately
waist.
obvious.
Clear why the person in the suit could have done it. What does he mean by that? Well, because he can't bend at the waist. Make your arguments! Robo Justice costume! Blah, 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 blah.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
It's true.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Correct.
The culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Right.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
That's true, but you can't.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
No.
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
That's a bad here. Hey, my feet's all. How am I supposed to use this thing? I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah?
Seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
But you can't. No chance of Kazuyo's taking off because you can't take it off by yourself. Which is on, you can never take it off.
I got it!
I got
I
it!
don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
There was a little clip on the back. You can't actually get it off, a little help. How'd you make something you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid freaking thing. Clap on the back. Yep.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah!
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
Yeah,
To
that's
be
true.
clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
Correct.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
No, I remember the picture very well. Yeah,
You
he's totally.
all got a good look at it.
He's
Did
just
you not?
holding him.
The
He's not even
image
doing
of
anything.
Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
He's freaking holding the arms onto himself, probably.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. Oops, sorry. That's what I decided to call him just now. Yeah.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question.
No, it's
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
man, she's really reaching now.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
It's still
Guys
far
are s-
too early
yeah.
to reach that conclusion. Besides,
this is silly.
there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, Shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one
Maybe it's not
viewpoint,
Celeste, though.
the truth
Couldn't
is
be.
uncovered by
Yeah.
analyzing
Could be.
things from every angle.
She's super suspicious, though.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. Four of us gathered together in the dining hall.
All there.
Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant.
Yeah, but you took a picture of him.
I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi.
Maybe.
We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect.
Yeah, we're going over
But
everything.
not long after leaving the nurse's office,
I saw something!
When Celeste told us that, and soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
What's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. Saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. She saw the costume man that was locked in the thing for all night. All right, he was blocking the stairs, so I headed further down to the hallway and disappeared.
and then,
Her stuff just doesn't add up for me. But it doesn't mean she's guilty yet. We don't have any proof. From downstairs, it must have been Fumi in the nurse's office. Back, come on, we have to go back.
at that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office.
Wait. Actually, isn't the pool past the boy and girl's locker room, so he wouldn't be able to go through it? He would have to go there on his own, possibly. But if he was knocked out and someone had to take him there, then it had to be a guy or someone who had been shot by the big machine gun outside. Anyway,
While Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
dead, even though he came back to
And
life.
that's when we heard the
with a
body
tear.
discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back
But they
to
also
the
found the
3rd
body
floor
upstairs at the same
to let
time.
the others know what had happened.
They found his body.
Meanwhile,
That was
we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
that was the death announcement. It wasn't us finding Hifumi because he wasn't
We
freaking
must
dead.
have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time because we heard the same announcement not long after we
All
discovered.
right, we know
his
Hifumi's
body.
all up in it. We just don't know who for sure the other person is that's
And
involved.
that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
His body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
A lot of back and forth. Everyone running around, giving everybody enough time to go. Are we hallucinating or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
I agree.
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Contradictions in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth in this case, I have to find them no matter what. Okay, contradictions. I don't have many hearts left because I blew them all in that event. Monokuma file number 3. The blunt object, right? They died the same way?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps
he
it
did.
was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Do we?
Taka
though?
came last.
No, I don't think so.
What
Maybe I
makes
should
you
have shot
say
that one.
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
There we go. No, we figured it out. I forgot about that. Forgot all about that.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Yeah.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. It was his watch. Hangman's Gambit. Wrist watch. Come on. No, it's I. I'm sorry. S T W A. Where's my A at? T C and H. The weird mini games always throw me off because I forget how to play half of them. It takes so long to get back to them. Like, wait, what am I supposed to do here again? I forgot.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch.
Yeah, or just watch, but whatever.
See? Look, it broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer, because as of last night...
Hey, you all, you'll keep us waiting. He pointed at his wristwatch. It's 10 o'clock, so 10 p.m. is still working, so it had to happen at 6
So if
a.m.
it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
Not me.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Yep.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
He faked the first one, but someone got him on the second one.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Don't know who yet. I'm still suspecting Celeste, but it's only because she's been acting so weird this whole time. I really don't have any. I can't think of any evidence I really have.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together, except for Hiro and Kyoko.
Yep.
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared.
Yeah, when you
When his
left.
body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
Because he got his ass up and ran
That's
upstairs.
true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
More than a minute or two. But how would they move the body in that short amount of time? Because he just got up and walked out.
Disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah.
He was also really
There's
sweaty
no
too when he
way.
was up there.
It'd be impossible.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Oh my god, please tell
What?
us.
How? If the dead body were to move itself.
Yeah. Yeah, we figured that out like an hour ago. Oh my god!
The dead body moved on its own?
No.
It's another ghost!
No.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
I mean, if he was dead, why would he woke up when she cried on him and be like, oh hey, wait, I remember something. Oh, now I'm dead.
He was alive?
Yeah! He woke up! He woke up when he was up there in that room! He wasn't
Are
dead!
you saying Hifumi
Oh, Jesus
wasn't
Christ.
carried out of
Yes, that's what we're saying.
We found his body.
No, it wasn't.
Dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Yeah, did it. Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Yeah, he wiped his glasses off and everything. Critical thinking. I'm ready. Broken wristwatch, okay.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a
wasn't
chance he was
dead.
actually still alive?
That's true.
No, it is impossible.
No, it's not.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Why?
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
That's true.
And that is why the announcement was made.
No.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
No, that's true. Why'd I try to counter that? Sorry. I was just messing around.
Are you
Broken wristwatch
saying
doesn't
that
have anything to do with
when
any of
we
this,
first
so I need to
found
copy
Hifumi in
something.
the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually
Still alive.
The body discovery announced Hifumi's dead body had been found.
There.
no,
God dang it.
it's wrong.
Jesus.
The body discovery announcement that was made.
I mean, we already know
intended
that
for
it wasn't
Hifumi?
him. I wish I could just like put my brain in here and be
Of
like,
course
look,
it
this
was.
is what I know.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere.
You guys may
I
have.
think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
And whenever dude died upstairs, it played again.
Didn't answer our question, man.
Yeah, it
We're
did.
asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement.
I kind of been
again.
sucking at this one. I'm usually pretty good at these, but not this time.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
First time I played is we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. The second time was when, just after Hifumi came back to life, both bodies were rediscovered when Toko, yeah. Sure about that? I'm trying to remember. You mentioned it. The second announcement came after me woke for the last time, I think. What? What? I was wrong? Second body discovery announcement. First time I played when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. Second time was when, oh, both bodies were rediscovered. But he came back to life and then he died. That's true also.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Oh, he's been discovered.
It didn't seem weird at the time.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies,
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
No, well, you've been wrong about
Okay,
everything
then.
else so far.
Let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
As we prove that Josephine was still alive, I have to find it and show it to everyone. Blah, 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 blah. Let's do it again. All right, arguments. His glasses, maybe. Have more than one. Hifumi's glasses. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, here's one thing we do know.
Uh-huh.
The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Uh-huh.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom,
Uh-huh.
his body disappeared.
Disappeared.
and the next time we saw his body,
Uh-huh.
it was in the repository.
Yeah.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Okay. Just a little boop. There we go.
No.
Just a little tippy tappy. If you hold it for like a second, it's like, oh, we're taking that one.
In fact, there was one clear difference between
One
Hifumi
very
in the nurse's
clear
office and the
difference.
repository.
Yes.
His glasses.
If anybody ever cared to take a look at anything, like even I don't look, hey, he's got a big wad of paper in his hand. Let's overlook
That
that.
fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood.
Yeah, because they poured it all over his face.
But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Evidence I found in the nurse's trash can was the pretty little thingy. There it is.
I got it!
I got it!
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera. And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was
Princess Pickles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess.
From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see.
And he runs
And he
upstairs.
stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse.
And then she's like, oh my god, the
becomes
body's
possible.
missing! And
Wouldn't
everybody
you
comes
say?
downstairs. And then he's like, whoop, let me move this stuff over to this other room. Oh my god, the other body's missing!
To be dead. What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
No, there's blood in the freaking...
The fridge in the nurse's office
Fridge.
contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should
Yeah.
be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
It is. It was Hifumi!
I got it!
I got it!
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and
Right,
Sakura
right.
headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository.
But why?
So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Yes, please.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The note. Could it be the thing that Hifumi stole from Taka? Where... Oop, nope. This one.
I got it!
I got it!
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his
Pants. Ah!
Yes, his pants.
Yes.
Hey, well, forget about the pants for now. And take a look at what the note said.
I don't know. We can use the escape. Monokuma can't find out any less now. This equipment is 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about.
Yep.
The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone
Rec
else
room
for
at
now.
1 a.m.
Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
No, because dude has his watch and he died at 6 a.m. and he met the guy at after, just after 6 a.m.
Not the same?
So Hifumi killed Taka.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants!
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear,
Tick-Tock is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. Oh, we're gonna have another battle? Make your argument, all right. Broken wristwatch, Fumi's glasses cleaning cloth. Broken wristwatch, I'm pretty sure that's the one we're going with here.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said.
Oops.
What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
Uh-huh.
The time doesn't matter!
Yeah, it does.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Wait.
No,
Girl,
he's
you
wrong.
dumb. You dumb. It has everything to do with TikTok. You're just making this freaking longer.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
What the hell are you talking
The note
about?
said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet.
At the same
The
time.
equipment room, right?
That's where he was dead
Taka
at.
was killed.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I
Yes.
think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
You're just arguing for no reason.
Objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as
Same
me.
as me.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no
He was
less!
trying to hide the evidence.
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Yeah, because he's killed him.
Here's your proof. Go ahead, show us.
Because he has a freaking piece of paper stuck in his hand, but whatever. Movie proof stole from Taka. Blip, 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 blip. Where is it? There it is. Boop.
I got it!
Got it!
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found
Are we
hidden
just
on
now
Hifumi.
trying that out? We should have done that a long time ago there, buddy, but whatever.
Scrap.
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
I like how the face is jumping in and out.
If
Ooh,
Hifumi
it's so
had the note meant
intense.
for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only
a
one
small
small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That
Yeah, you
means
did good.
Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Right. Whoa.
After seeing all this,
Super
Hifumi was
involved.
super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
No, he's
Sorry.
dead.
No.
He's definitely
When
dead.
we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then,
Who killed
Hifumi?
Hifumi? Who is still, we haven't quite figured that out yet.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true,
The true
killer.
We only know that someone washed off a mallet that they used to smack him, but
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting
there's something
Taka's body.
there must be something I don't remember about this part, this time when it was going on. What if we split up again? Oh, well.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching
right.
for Taka's missing body.
Yeah, we had split up
In
again.
other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Got
Who
her.
are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
Oh God, he's going to have like something really good to say finally.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, According to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed
When
in
did
the
they do it and when did they
repository-
wash it? It would be wet. Well, they. Did he kill himself? Surely not. Hifumi was killed in the
Culprit
repository.
would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi.
Wait. The mastermind would get away, so maybe he did do it himself and he was. Nah, it can't be.
Then put the hammer back where they found it. But
No, he
wouldn't
wouldn't
that
be able to put it back up if he did it to
risky for
himself.
him?
That's stupid, so never mind.
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the
No, it's okay, we got
question is,
evidence for that.
How could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
Yeah, we have
I don't think
evidence.
it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Weapon that killed Hifumi, the whole picture surrounding the case won't become clear until we figure that out somehow to find the truth. Well, we will find the truth because we have a bullet for that. Blam! Make your arguments. Spotless hammer. All right, someone say something contradicting so I can shoot you.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
No.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
Maybe that one? Yeah!
No, wrong.
That's wrong! It's not a Justice Hammer at all, it's a clean freaking hammer!
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Right.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Why?
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
Did he know that?
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't any reasons for anyone to work together, at least that's what we thought at first, but he wasn't around when we actually talked about it more. Spotless hammer. Still. Okay.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
There's no chance two people work together on this?
Based on the
so.
rules that have been laid out, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act can assuming the rule holds true.
It is simply impossible.
That is how the rule.
But that
There's only 2
really
things
applies if there's
that
one
work
in this
here, so.
case, however, there were 2 murders.
Okay, there were 2 murders, so I guess we'll just do it in reverse then.
Shoot.
Let's see.
Based
Spotless
on the
hammer.
rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that 2 people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Copy this one again.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong! Finally. Wait till the last one and get it.
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
Well, we know there had to be more than one person involved.
What do you mean?
Because Hifumi killed Taka, so who killed Hifumi?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
Jesus Christ. I'm such an idiot.
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
But he's not the
They made
mastermind.
him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents.
Yeah.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies.
Yeah, we know all this.
By
So what's the
creating
point?
one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
Yeah, but we already debunked all
The
that, so.
mastermind picked their target
Alright.
and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And
Yeah.
then to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. That'd be
Intense!
so cruel.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems...
Well, if it's Celeste, he was like freaking in love with her anyway and he freaking wanted to make her tea and junk. Everybody convinced his 2 murders were the same main characters at this time. Keiko must have noticed the fact from the very beginning, well, I think everybody did. Which is why she said not to look at the series of connected events, entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing. When you think about it, she's almost too amazing. It's like it's unnatural how good at it she
I
is.
understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
True killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions in the end murdering him. The debate is up to now, the case has been folded. When you consider all of that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. There's only one person that seems to fit. Well, I mean... Who am I supposed to pick here? I mean, I'm just gonna pick Celeste, because that's who I think, so screw it.
Here's my answer.
Got it!
It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Ah, yes, you are.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
That sounded weird. I wonder.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him. That I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Screaming? Encountering the suspicious individual, they're the only ones. And screaming, but
I got it!
they... Yeah, I think someone else screamed
they had
too.
in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Maybe.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow something move around the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste was wrong. It's rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. He was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Oh, what was that? Came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
Well, I'm glad he's kind of figuring this out for me because I really didn't have any evidence.
In fact, Celeste was
I mean, other than
precisely the one
saying-
who proposed that we split up.
This is what she did. Yeah.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
And
on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
So I'm not expecting this, and I imagined that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're gonna die just like those guys died. Was this the point where she didn't... Wait. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
Yeah, it means a lot.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Comment doesn't make sense, but what is he alluding to? That she didn't know? Alright, well, whatever. Monokuma file number 3. That didn't do it
All
either.
I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated.
No.
We are all going to die here.
All
We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it?
Well, what am I supposed to shoot it
was
with?
so strange about Celeste's comment?
Am I supposed to copy this one, the last one again? What about Fumi's? What she said she should have only known about Fumi's death. Not so strange, but what she has said is...
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this.
It's those guys.
Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here.
Uh-huh.
We are going to die, just like those guys.
There we go. It's one of those last ones again. It's kind of a recurring theme in this one.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
I mean, that's kind of really loose reasoning, but I guess it's enough to make her freak out.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
What about it?
How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
Dun dun
So
dun.
let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit.
Maybe he was just holding him on his back, trying to move him.
I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
It's a really crappy defense.
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations. If it wasn't a picture of suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is, assuming the suspect are dancing, the suspect have been drinking, Hifumi's dragging the suspect away.
I got it!
That's the only one that even makes sense.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
We got it!
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she could prove there's no way Hifumi is dragging the suspect away, but is that really possible? Alright, let's see what she has to say about it. Probably something about the Tom. Robo, message, blueprints. Shares message. Alright, Robo, Justice.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Maybe it's the Robo Justice costume. I don't think he was actually in it. If I remember right, Hina said it couldn't have been at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
And carry the weight.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
All right.
No, that's wrong.
That was right. It kind of makes me question if it's going to work or not, because it kind of makes sense and then it can be argued back.
Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Yeah, we already talked about it. It doesn't bend at the waist. Can't bend at the waist. Seems like pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Ooh, she's getting pretty mad about it.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Yeah, we debunked that a long time ago. Ooh,
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Oh, Celeste.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Woo! She's so angry right now. Look at her! Just living.
Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasu. Hiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
What? Your voice is so high-pitched now.
He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Wait, who? Those last names.
I got it!
Yeah, he always said our last names.
Our last names. He called us all by our last names.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Indecent.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal, but he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Or does it?
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit. Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Maybe. Just a little bit.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open. My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
It's not your real name. Plus, still won't give up. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it. All right. Whew. Man, this thing's still going. E-handbook, spotless hammer, Ishiro's message. Okay, it's gotta be in the e-handbook, right? Because the old girl said it would come into play, so this is...
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? My name is... Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me...
No, that's wrong.
Beam.
That's it. The handbook.
Just throwing it out there. Your name's probably in your handbook, and you can just show us what it is.
What? Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it'll display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It also has many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Oh no, I refuse now.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened, please? Just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because...
Freaking Jack's over there just like, ah!
Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it.
Ooh, girl.
Let me go over the case again.
Oh yeah, now I gotta put it all in order.
And shed light on all your crimes.
Woo!
And that'll bring everything to an end.
Closing climax stuff. Begin. All right, I think we got it. Let's try to reenact it.
You!
The killer is the
Before
chips?
anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder.
No,
And
okay.
that person was...
I think that's wrong already. It's not the bag of chips. All right, we gotta try that again. Okay, it's this one. It's him. I mean, but
Here's exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded...
Person was him. Yeah. Shake hands. Why is he looking so crazy?
With an accomplice. the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 1 o'clock, tick, tick, tick. And he showed up and he's
First,
like,
they
man.
convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Uh-huh. It's like, oh God, I passed out.
That
Ah!
someone they met with was Hero. The
Yeah.
murderous duo intended to pass Hero off as the prime suspect.
Put him in
They
there.
drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit.
Took a picture, click, click.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hero. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker.
Right.
And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
And smack.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making
Yeah, I skipped a
the
little.
murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that.
Oh, my head.
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered.
Well, we didn't find the empty blood pack. Oh well.
He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room.
God, he's going so fast. Whew.
He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act.
Dance he's doing. Bloop. Dun dun dun.
Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Are they kissing? What kind of scene is that? Dun dun dun.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
The recap really actually doesn't, I mean, doesn't really add any more proof than we already had, but Maybe she'll freak out about it. Complete!
I lost?
You lost, little girl. Oh, despair. You
When
lost.
was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They
Ugh.
hang heavy around my neck.
Oh,
Then you
so
admit
sorry.
it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Ah.
Nico?
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Well, you kind of let him drag on for a really long time. Anyway.
Interesting.
Interesting. And my results: A, C, B, C, A. Total A. Sweet. And we got a bunch of coins. Woohoo! 99.
Okay,
That's what I'm
Monokuma.
talking about.
I'm ready to begin.
Oh my gosh, we finally got her, and this episode's been going on for so long, I'm gonna leave you hanging on, you have to watch next time to see what happens to her. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys had a good time. I sure did. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. Mwah, mwah. See you next time, guys. Stay toasty, my friends. Yay!